So today we're going to talk about something really powerful. It's a global initiative that's completely rethinking how we fight modern slavery. You see, it's not just about ending it. It's about healing the deep, deep wounds it leaves behind. So let's dive into this incredible vision, healing corridors for a free world.
All right, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get a real sense of just how big this crisis is. Then, we'll look at this amazing solution they're calling resilience corridors. We'll see how things like healing rooms and community hubs actually work on the ground. We'll talk about the crucial role of young people, and we'll wrap up with this really game-changing idea that healing itself is the new infrastructure we need to build a truly free world.
So to really get started, we need to ground ourselves in what's happening right now. You know, it's no accident we're talking about this on December 2nd, which is the International Day for the Abolition of Slavery, because this isn't some chapter from a history book. It is an urgent modern-day crisis.
50 million. Just take a second and let that number actually sink in. I mean, that's more than the entire population of a country like Spain. We're talking about 50 million men, women, and children trapped in some form of modern slavery today. The scale is it's staggering, and it demands a response that's just as big, just as powerful.
So, you might be asking, what does modern slavery even look like today? Well, it's forced labor, people working in fields and factories against their will. It's human trafficking. It's kids forced into servitude, young girls forced into marriage. And the numbers, they don't lie. This injustice, it hits women, girls, and already marginalized communities the absolute hardest.
And this right here, this quote gets to the heart of a huge shift in thinking. See, for way too long, the main response was all legal. Rescue the person, prosecute the trafficker. But that whole model, it misses something so much deeper. This isn't just a crime. It's a profound trauma that literally fractures people and their communities. It's a health crisis, and at its core, it is a humanity issue.
Okay, so once you recognize that deeper truth, that's where the real solution starts to take shape. And that's exactly what led the UnityNet-FAU BIPOCA Alliance to come up with this incredible, visionary response, a plan to forge what they call global resilience corridors.
So, corridors. What does that actually mean? Well, first off, forget about physical roads or highways. Think of these as living, breathing networks that connect communities all across the global south. And their whole purpose is to build resilience right from the ground up. They do this using 5 key pillars: healing, learning, regenerative development, and what that means is building systems that actually restore and renew things, not just use them up, ethical AI, and of course, empowering young people.
And let me tell you, this is a truly global vision. These corridors are designed to stretch across entire continents, linking communities that have shared histories and, more importantly, shared hopes for the future. And check this out, there's a really key strategic choice here. The whole network is anchored in Nigeria. It's a core hub, picked because of its massive cultural and demographic importance, not just for Africa, but for the whole world.
And one thing that's so important about this initiative, it doesn't shy away from history. Not at all. It looks it right in the eye. It confronts the fact that so many of the problems we see today are rooted in historical harms. So these corridors, they're built to be platforms for repair. We're not just talking about patching up a problem in the present. This is about creating a real pathway for genuine, long-lasting renewal.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. How does all this healing actually happen? Well, it starts with something they're calling Healthy Therapy Labs. Think of them as the healing rooms of the future. And the approach here is just so innovative. It's really multi-layered. First, they bring together all these different kinds of healing practices. Second, and this is key, it is not a one-size-fits-all deal. Everything is grounded in the local community and the local culture. Third, the buildings themselves use regenerative design. And fourth, they're empowering all of this with ethical AI tools. And when I say ethical AI, I mean AI that's built from the ground up to protect cultural safety and make sure that communities own and control their own data. That's huge.
I mean, what they're building is a true healing ecosystem. You've got evidence-based trauma recovery sitting right alongside nature-based therapies. It honors and lifts up these powerful women-led cultural healing traditions, and it combines them with modern practices like sound therapy and mental health support. And it's all supported by these safe, ethical AI co-pilots. It's the whole package.
So who are these labs for? The answer is simple: everyone. Yes, of course, they're for the survivors of slavery and trafficking, but they're also for their families, for the young people, for the elders. They're for the entire community, for everyone who carries the weight of this systemic trauma, sometimes without even realizing it.
So healing is the first incredible step, right?
but it can't happen in a vacuum. All of that individual work gets supported by the next layer of this whole infrastructure, the community unity hubs. And these places are all about belonging, learning, and leading.
Just try to picture this for a second, a space where everyone has a voice, where mothers and teachers are working hand in hand with elders and young people to lead projects, where learning about climate resilience is happening right next to a garden where you're growing local food. This is a place where culture is celebrated, where stories are shared, and where people get trained in something called digital sovereignty, which gives them the power to control their own identities and their own stories online.
So here's the crucial thing to understand. These hubs, they are not just buildings, not even close. They are intentionally designed to be living, breathing spaces of belonging and restoration. Places where the very fabric of a community can be rewoven and come back even stronger than before.
And really, at the absolute heart of this entire vision is the next generation. This whole initiative gets that young people aren't just waiting around to inherit the future. No way. They have to be active architects of peace right here, right now.
One of the coolest parts of this is something called the Life Learning Garden. And this concept is just so powerful. It's a garden that's also a classroom. It's a sanctuary. It's where you find agriculture meeting therapy, where food forests are grown through youth mentorship. It's where knowledge about the earth is passed down in a way that understands and respects trauma.
And these amazing gardens, they're like nodes in a much bigger network called the Youth Peace Roots. This is a real, active global movement. We're talking about young people out there on the ground, planting trees of peace. They're maintaining these healing gardens, running cultural ecology projects, learning how to protect their digital identities, and, get this, becoming the first line of defense in spotting and stopping the risks of modern slavery right in their own neighborhoods.
So, when you start to put all these pieces together, you've got the healing labs, the community hubs, the youth gardens, a really profound idea starts to emerge. It's a vision where we completely reimagine our priorities for what it takes to build a better world.
And this quote, wow, it just captures it all perfectly. Can you imagine a world where we invest in healing with the same urgency that we invest in highways or bridges? That's the shift we're talking about. Moving away from just a model of rescue to a model of deep, preventative investment in communities. A world where women are seen as the true architects of well-being, and young people are empowered as the carriers of peace. That's how you create a world where slavery literally has no soil left to grow in.
And you know what? This isn't just some nice idea for the future. This movement is starting today, right now. We are so proud that we get to help announce the official launch of the UnityNet-FAU Women Network and the UnityNet Healthy Therapies Lab Network. And this is an open invitation to you. Join the movement from wherever you are in the world.
And all of this leaves us with one last really important question to think about. What if? What if we've been looking at the whole idea of freedom all wrong? What if being free from chains isn't the finish line? What if it's just the starting point for the much deeper, much more important work of healing together?
Because at the end of the day, the message here is so clear and so powerful. Freedom isn't just the end of slavery. Healing is.